Every toy in my collection has a story, how I came upon it, why I bought it, or even just some random or obscure bit of info about it. Admittedly, not all of them are amazing, funny, or interesting, but I think some of them are, and I'd like to tell you about them, one toy at a time. This is Stories from the Toy Shelf, Redux. Episode 1, Once a Collector. Originally posted July 23, 2012. For as long as I can remember, I've always been a collector. Whether it was something free, like plastic skippers from Chickadee Snacks or Ziggy Finger Puppets from Tang, or figuring Panini sticker albums and Smurf figurines. If I was really into something, I had to have them all. Thank God Pokemon wasn't around back then. When I got older, my completionist collector tendencies transferred to all the different toys that I got into. Like most kids growing up in the 80s, my trifecta of toy collecting consisted of G.I. Joe, Transformers, and He-Man. Yes, there were others, but none of them managed to make such a lasting imprint on my childhood as these three lines. Of the three, G.I. Joe was king. Transformers and He-Man were just too expensive for a kid with limited monetary funds. While I had to rely on Christmas, birthday gifts, or pasalubongs, which were basically stuff my dad brought home from his business trips, to get my Transformers and He-Man fix, I could manage to build my G.I. Joe collection with my own allowance. Back then, a single Joe figure cost a manageable 60 pesos, or a little under $3 at my favorite toy store, Nova Fontana. I amassed quite a collection of Joes, about 40 to 50 figures if I remember right, with a decent collection of vehicles, which were mostly gifts, to go along with them. Eventually, however, I did end up outgrowing my toys. Like most boys who grew up, the big three was replaced by the big one, girls. And my collecting habits were satisfied by building up a formidable music collection of tapes and CDs. No, I did not move on to collecting girls. As the years passed, however, I never really stopped appreciating toys, especially with the dawn of the internet. Yes, I am that old that I actually witnessed the dawn of the internet. I would find myself looking at pictures of all the new toys coming out year after year. I would never buy any though, because back then I couldn't imagine spending money on something that I couldn't listen to, read, eat, or flat out use, and that would just end up standing on some random shelf in my room. Then, sometime in 2004, one particular toy line caught my interest. It was called Transformers Alternators. The premise of this line was that these were Transformer toys, not really meant for kids, but for older collectors. They featured the old G1 characters I grew up watching on TV, but this time transforming into ultra-detailed licensed modern cars. And when I say detailed, I mean that their alt modes were complete with car interiors, licensed car logos, rubber tires, and opening doors and hoods, with engines inside. To add to that, the robots they transformed into weren't the usual unmoving bricks like the old toys. No, these guys were mostly fully articulated. It was amazing, like the toys from when I was a kid grew up as well. But still, this wasn't enough for me to actually go out and get some, until I saw them in person. It was just another regular afternoon when I was following my then girlfriend on one of her shopping trips through the bowels of a shopping mall called Goldcrest. Ironically, it wasn't Goldcrest where my childhood store, Nova Fontana, used to be located. But while that store closed shop years ago, I chanced upon another toy shop in its place. Seeing as I had nothing better to do, I decided to check it out. And then all of a sudden, there they were, my two childhood favorite Autobots, Sunstreaker and Prowl, in all their alternators' glory. The price for each, about 1,650 pesos or around $30, was enough to deter me from buying them on the spot. However, their image on the store shelf never left my mind and haunted me for days after that. So eventually I caved. Just these two, I told myself. They really are my two favorite characters. They're all I'll need, just these two. Famous last words. Thanks for checking out Stories from the Toy Shelf Redux. For more stories, please like and subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell for updates or visit my website at storiesfromthetoyshelf.com and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next one.